Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's a little chilly this morning, but we're supposed to be in the 70s and 80s over the next couple of days. That's crazy. It's still February. Tuesday, kind of a weird one. I mean, it is the Ozarks, so this is something we're kind of used to around here, but we're supposed to have a high of like 81, 82 that day and a low that night of 28. So a big temperature change, cold fronts moving in. Not gonna be really cold, but definitely cooler than it's been because it's been very unseasonably warm around here during the day. Yesterday we had our big monthly meeting and it was just absolutely amazing. We had just a packed house. I'm always surprised at how many people come out. A lot of new faces, a lot of the regulars showed up. I had a guy that did a demonstration on solar panels and was not able to record that, but he has all of these. He did a full slideshow of that, and he will post that on our group's Facebook page, which isn't the Prepared Homestead. It's the Prepared Homesteaders of the Ozarks, which is our local group, and there is a Facebook page there, and he's going to post that on there for those that want to see that. It was really good. Had a guest entertainment there. This man and his father, they play music. They do very professional, very good music, and so they wanted to come, and before the meeting started, we did about a 30-minute set of them playing music, entertaining everyone. And then we had the regular meeting, and then of course we got a call. Our ERT, our emergency response team, which was all there for the meeting, was called out to a 911 call for assist, and it was quite the interesting day. And those of you that's ever worked in any kind of first responder, fire department, EMS, even police, I'm sure you'll be familiar with this one when I tell you. We got called out, and I'd already had plans that in case that happened, I had some people set up to kind of take over the meeting in my absence. And so the call came in, myself and our team got ready, we left. En route to that call, which that initial call was a fire call, to assist, we were diverted to a motor vehicle accident and ended up heading there first. It was a motorcycle accident. I think the guy, he's gonna be okay. He was banged up a little bit, but he'll be okay. But anyways, we had shut down the highway. Part of our team shut down the highway. Myself and a couple others rendered medical aid to him. And then we landed a helicopter in the middle of the road. Well, while we were there, we get toned out for another call. So now we're on to the third call. And so I had to split our team up that was there to go assist, sent some of them to go assist the fire call. At that fire call, someone was trying to put out the fire. It was a big wildfire outside. They tried to put it out. Unfortunately, they got caught up in the fire and was injured. So we had to land a helicopter over there at that scene. We had 3 calls come through within about a 10-minute period. At the motor vehicle accident scene, we were already broken down into a smaller group then. Part of us went over to help with the fire, and the other part went to another call of an overdose, and that one ended up being okay also. And then we all gathered to the fire call, and we fought a 250-acre field and forest fire for probably about 3 hours. Ended up just a wonderful day. So while our emergency response team is doing all these things, it was just so rapid fire. One thing after another, multiple units in different scenes, trying to communicate with each other on radio, coordinating, getting everyone to where they needed to be, landing 2 helicopters, coordinating with mutual aid fire services, local other fire departments and the federal fire services with the National Forest. It was very hectic, and all that's going on while our meeting is still happening back at the meeting house. So a very interesting and big day, but that's why we do this. That's why we do this, so that we can give back to our community and help bring our community together, strengthen our community, and then show the community that our group is serious about helping him, about being part of it, and it really is working. And we've got people coming to us all the time now, wanting to know about training, wanting to know about preparedness, how they can help, how they can be involved, and it's really bringing kind of that kind of unified feeling around here in this very small rural area. So it was a good day. Moving on, I yesterday, day before, I don't remember when this happened, but the head of NATO, the General Secretary of NATO, said that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Ukraine joins NATO. Now, this has been the big sticking point. If any of you watched that interview with Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin, going through the historical reasons that Putin did, basically it was, they invaded Ukraine because Ukraine was getting too close, and that they were becoming part of NATO or becoming too close with NATO. And now it's been said for quite a while that, you know, even if Ukraine became part of NATO, that's a long way out. Well, now we've got the General Secretary saying that, yeah, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Ukraine will be part of NATO. Vladimir Putin has fired back, I saw this morning, and he basically said that's risking nuclear war. That if that happens, the West, Europe, will most definitely be directly involved in a war with Russia. Now, why would they do this? Why would NATO? I mean, why would we care? I'm not saying that we don't care about Ukraine and the Ukrainian people, but why would there be such a push to get Ukraine in NATO? Ukraine, I mean, there's no reason why it can't be kind of this, you know, demilitarized neutral zone. If there was some kind of agreement worked out on both sides, I don't see why it couldn't happen that way. Other than there's this desire to start a war with Russia. And I believe strongly that that's what the West wants. I think that's what NATO and the Western alliances, that's what they want. They want a war with Russia. And they haven't been able to provoke Russia enough yet to get Russia to go to war against the West, only with Ukraine. And I think it's just not worked out as they planned. I think that they had expected by now that Russia would, you know, drop bombs on Poland or somewhere else, some type of provocation, and they just haven't been able. I mean, the Nord Stream thing didn't seem to pan out. There's all the attacks in Crimea, the attacks in Russia. I think they're really trying to get Russia involved in this war. They want a world war. Europe's economy is as bad, if not worse. Actually, it is worse than the United States economy. The West is hurting financially, and they're existing on this fake debt at this point. The U.S. dollar's hurting. BRICS is growing. They expect another 30 or so countries to join BRICS this year. It's getting more and more powerful. Is it ready to overtake the dollar this year or next year? Probably not, but it's definitely beginning down a path that will definitely challenge greatly the U.S. dollar, which of course is the dominant currency. It's the Western currency. And so there's so many things happening in the regards to Russia becoming a bigger threat to the West. And the West, the only thing that they have is to go to war against them. And so I think that that's what we're seeing happen. They want a war. I'm very convinced of that. I'm very convinced that the Bidens and the Obamas and all of the other globalist elites, they want a war, and they're trying to make one happen. And whether you like or dislike or whatever it is that feelings you might have for Russia and Vladimir Putin, one thing that I think has been proven through this is that they're very patient and tolerant. Yes, they invaded Ukraine, but if you look at the facts and you kind of could say, well, maybe it is justified, maybe it's not. But regardless of that, I think that there's been a lot of tolerance on their part for the last couple of years, at least. And it looks to me like NATO is trying to really poke the bear, figuratively and literally. And it tells me that this whole World War III, which my opinion has been for a while, we've been in World War III for a while, okay? But I'm talking an overt, kinetic, obvious World War III. That we're headed there. I think we're headed there regardless. I think that the West, the NATO alliance, that the United States, they're gonna make it happen one way or the other. And you know how it is. If they can't make it happen by provoking Russia, they'll make it happen by some kind of false flag. We have to start really preparing for this. This is a major deal. Will this affect us here at the homeland? Will we possibly see an invasion or an attack here in the United States? Maybe, maybe not. But even if we don't, there's still a lot of things that will directly affect us here in the United States once we get fully involved, fully engaged in a global war. Economically, sending troops off, draft, supply chain. There's a lot of things. Government just growing larger and more intrusive laws into our lives, because that typically happens in some type of war scenario. Well, we've got to protect ourselves, so let's create some more dystopian laws to control our people because it's for our protection, that sort of thing. So we need to really be preparing for this, folks. I don't know that that's the thing that's going to happen, or if it's going to be something else. I mean, we've got hundreds of thousands of illegals crossing our border every month. Now most of them are the biggest part of them are Chinese. We've got cyber attacks happening left and right. We've got all kinds of things going on. But this whole European stuff is a pretty big deal too. And it seems that NATO is hell-bent on starting a war with Russia, a bigger war with Russia. And when that happens, it could be very, very devastating. I think that if we end up being in some type of major world war scenario, I think it'll be way worse than anything we've ever seen. It will be a bloodbath. Russia, they're not as great as our military in some ways, but one thing is they don't back down. And I think it'd be a bloodbath. So we've got to be ready for this. We need to be continually stocking up. We need to be continually training and developing the skills that we need to be self-sufficient. That's why we're trying to strengthen the community around us, not just our prepper community, but the community outside that, because we see that's very critical to everybody's survival. That you've got a whole community around you of people that are much more ready and much more capable of surviving tough times. And that's where we're headed. We're headed for some really tough times. America has been blessed for many generations now with just abundance and ease and comfort. And I think those days are long gone. And we're now in the era of hardships and just some really difficult times. And we need to be ready for that, folks, for however that may look. It's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.